Insurance for when there's a hitch in the trailer hitch. Tennesseans know that sometimes life has its loose ends.
Good thing we had that trailer added.
Know that Farm Bureau Insurance is there to help. Tennessee Insurance for Tennessee life.
So here we go, your afternoon weather update, and the wind is going to start to really increase from here on out with significant wind heading our way, extremely high fire danger, possible strong to severe thunderstorms, and we're talking about a massive low-pressure system to swing its way into the area. So let's go ahead and get to work with the Futurecast wind speeds. We'll pick it up here at the noon hour, run you through the afternoon. You can really see this big wind field heading our way. And right along the leading edge of the cold front, that's where we're going to see the extreme wind. We'll bring that down to the local level coming up in a second. The wind will relax overnight as we get into the early part of our Wednesday. And then as we get into Wednesday afternoon and Thursday, we're going to have a strong northwesterly flow and still going to be hanging out with some fairly strong winds. So a giant wind event on the way, a big severe weather event as well, especially down towards Louisiana. I've already had reports from friends that are down celebrating Mardi Gras saying they've canceled a lot of events. They've taken all the porta potties off the street. And so that's the significance of this event that we're talking about. It is Fat Tuesday. A lot of folks down there celebrating Mardi Gras, but it looks like this year is going to be a different story. Now, for us here locally, we do have a level 1 risk that's been issued by the Storm Prediction Center, so isolated strong to severe thunderstorms. But when you break it down into the different categories, we're not talking about extreme hail or damaging hail. We're not probably going to see any hail. And tornadoes, not looking likely whatsoever. So we're not under a threat necessarily for tornadoes. What we are under a threat for is extreme wind. And you combine that with very dry conditions, and we have elevated fire danger as well. So we continue with the wind advisory for the day today. Winds are going to be gusting to about 45 miles per hour again as we get closer to the event itself, but the wind will start to increase from here on out. And a high wind warning for the mountains of East Tennessee, where we could see winds gusting to 80, 90 to maybe even 100 miles per hour across the highest peaks of the Smokies. You can really see how the wind's going to be increasing here at the lunch hour. Not too terribly bad, but as the kids head home from school, the evening rush hour, and then even overnight tonight, that's when the strongest winds will be with us. And it's going to be a rather gusty and breezy day with the wind shifting from the south to the west-northwest. Take a look at your Futurecast wind speeds across the mountains where we do have the extreme wind that is anticipated. The winds have already been starting to crank up, but they're only going to continue to pick up from here on out. Watch this forecast. Kids heading home from school, we're going to start to see some stronger winds towards McGee-Tyson Airport, Alcoa, Townsend, Pigeon Forge, Pittman Center, Cosby, and even Gatlinburg. Higher elevations are really going to start to see those winds cranking as we get closer to 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So look at these. Winds gusting by around 7 o'clock tonight. This is just one model guidance. Keep that in mind, but this has a pretty good handle on the fact that we're going to get some strong downsloping winds off the mountains. So Cosby, Pittman Center, Gatlinburg, Townsend, Cades Cove, even Pigeon Forge. We're talking about extreme winds right there along the foothills. As we get into the midnight hour, look at some of these model guidance. We're talking 80, 90, 100 mile per hour winds possible across the highest peaks of the Smokies. This is the extreme wind I'm talking about, and this is going to continue to fill in across the valley locations. Now, as we head into the day tomorrow, the winds will shift, and again, a little bit lighter, but still rather gusty, and that's going to usher in some chillier air. We do have a red flag warning in effect until 8 o'clock here tonight. So a red flag warning means extreme fire danger. We've got very dry, tender vegetation. We're coming out of the winter months, right? We haven't had a ton of rain, although we did just a few weeks ago. It's not enough to really mitigate all of the tender brush that we have hanging out with us. You combine that with the extreme wind, and any fire that were to get going would go very, very quickly and be very dangerous to a lot of people. So something to kind of keep in mind. Don't throw the cigarette butts out the windows. Don't start any fires today. Keep using extra caution. Now, the Storm Prediction Center has issued an elevated fire risk north and along Interstate 81, north of 40, I should say, and along Interstate 81 throughout the day today. So here's your Futurecast. We pick up our timeline. We've had some hit and miss sunshine. It's been a quiet, cooler morning, but the temperatures will continue to warm from here on out. And as they do so, that's a strong southerly fetch of warm, moist air. Now, we don't really see any rain until after about 10 o'clock here tonight. So from 10 to midnight, here comes the powerful storm. This is where we could see some strong to severe thunderstorms from midnight through about 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning before this all exits to our east, and we'll see drier weather conditions for the morning rush hour. We'll also likely have some sunshine early in the morning, but then the clouds fill back behind it, and that's a sign of that colder air that's going to set up shop. And even by sundown, could start to see a little bit of light snow developing across the plateau, and that's going to continue across the plateau in the Smoky Mountains. So we'll talk about snowfall totals coming up here in just a second. Rainfall totals, we're still looking at about a quarter, 3/4 to an inch of rainfall. Either way you look at it, some decent heavy rain. A very small potential for some localized flooding. Not really expecting much considering that we haven't had a whole lot of rain recently. But when you talk about your snowfall forecast, we do have a chance for some snow showers. And I think less than an inch, half an inch or less across the Cumberland Plateau. The foothills likely to see less than an inch. Now, that would be Wednesday night, tomorrow night into Thursday morning. Not tonight, not through the day tomorrow, but tomorrow night into Thursday morning. And maybe 1 to 3 inches across the highest peaks of the Smokies. Can't rule out a few flurries from about 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning through about 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning across upper East Tennessee and the lower elevations, but I'm not anticipating any travel concerns whatsoever. When we look ahead, though, we do have another disturbance on the way. It's not going to bring us a ton of rain, but it will bring us some light rain showers Friday into Saturday. So here's that 7-day forecast for all reporting stations around East Tennessee from Tri-Cities, Crossville, Chattanooga to Knoxville. Again, a little bit of a cool down on into our Thursday. We'll rebound nicely Friday, Saturday, and then we'll cool down a little bit on Sunday. But all in all, not a bad weekend ahead of us. A little bit of light rain Friday night into Saturday morning, and that should be just about the extent of it. All right, so we do have a chance for isolated strong to severe thunderstorms. Have a way to receive weather information. The East Tennessee Weather app will do just that, and it's 100% free. You'll never pay for weather. Also, stay on top of the fire situation, the winds, batten down the hatches. If you have, say, trampolines or any loose items in your yards, you'll want to bring them in or tie them down because this is going to be a major wind event. Track it through the evening and through the day today with the East Tennessee Weather app. Like I said, it's 100% free. Have a great day. Plan your day with the East Tennessee Weather app. From video forecast weather updates to an interactive radar giving you past, current, and future radar of 2 hours to day part, 7 days, current conditions, access to the only 24-hour weather channel right here in East Tennessee, live weather cameras, and severe weather alerts from the National Weather Service. Download the app today to always stay in the know. This is East Tennessee Weather. Weather when you want it.